Don't look right, blame it on me. That's all you can do. Blame it on me. If your kids mess up at school, blame it on me. Car breakdown going to work, blame it on me.
Oh, look at Jameis! Unique to say the least.
There's a fine line between weird and hilarious, and Jameis Winston walks that line like a pro. The Jaguars may have gotten away with attempted QB aside, and NFL Week 11 revealed the two best teammates in the league, Ernest Jones and Adam Troutman, defending their quarterbacks.
I mean, Sam's been balling. Like, if we want to try to define Sam by this game or what, man, Sam's had us in every fucking game.
First off, if you're talking shit about Bo online, you're a coward.
It's football, man. And he's our quarterback. We got his back, and you got anything to say, quite frankly, fuck you.
Dragon Slayer 69 with his 7-Eleven Slurpee in his mom's basement. I don't give a shit what he has to say, right? And Bo doesn't either.
Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield gave us a classic shootout. The Panthers have a better record than the Chiefs. The Browns may have 0 viable quarterbacks. The Eagles' defense shut down the high-flying Lions. But before I get to the real winners and losers from Week 11, we've got the Blop 10 plays. Starting with the Levis 11. Rookie Josh Allen reared his head on this interception to avoid a safety. Also, Josh Allen and Gabe Davis got their helmets stuck together. If Gabe Davis was smart, he would physically attach himself to Josh Allen on a permanent basis. Blop 10, is this how you hit on a cheerleader mid-play? And now that cheerleader's pregnant. Blop 9, Marcus Mariota avoiding a sack. Now this is a true no-look pass. I'd like to see Matthew Stafford complete this shit. Also, Josh Allen, this is how you get rid of the ball there. Blop 8, Kingsley Enagbari was caught pissing on the sideline. I do wonder how Microsoft likes seeing their tablet station turned into a porta potty. Also, look at this dude's grimacing face. That's a shame. That's a shame. Kingsley, I'd be honored to hold your piss towel. And I'd smile while doing it. Blop 7, the worst and most delayed flop attempt I've ever seen. Acting is the only thing the Chargers' offensive line does worse than actually blocking. If you want to be a star, you go to Dallas. This is how you act, LA, and get the call. Blop 6, Jamar Chase has been suspended for spitting. They say spitters are quitters, and that would just be good advice for the Bengals for the rest of the season. Blop 5, the Bears sideline. We had Jonathan Owens' sideline catch. Even when J.J. McCarthy isn't getting picked off, J.J. McCarthy is getting picked off. Eric Bieniemy also took a big shot on the sideline. Even when Eric Bieniemy isn't getting offered a head coaching job, Eric Bieniemy's not getting offered a head coaching job. Blop 4, watch out, Collinsworth. J.J. Watt's coming for the filthy announcer crown.
He comes across as Josh is pumping. At that very last second, he might have been able to slip it in there to Palmer.
Let's just say Haley Steinfeld is a truly lucky woman. Assuming that's who JJ is referring to when he says palm her.
To slip it in there to Palmer.
Blop 3, the 49ers kicker blopping to the ground as he tries to make a tackle. I appreciate the half-hearted tripping attempt at the end, which somehow is lazier than just laying down. Blop 2, Jameis Williams can't stop humping things. Humping a goalpost is, of course, a penalty and a sign of being fucking insane. That is the last asshole you want to mimic, Jameson. Thank God the Lions didn't need any extra points in that game. And Blop 1, the washed-ass Patrick Mahomes really threw a pick 6 and an interception on the same drive. The pick 6 was called back because of a ticky-tacky hate crime on Riley Moss, but only Mahomes could throw another pick and see the refs throw 2 more flags on his opponent and still turn the ball over. God forbid Patty Mahomes get blocked after he throws the ball to the wrong team, officials. And Blop 0, the Perna crime family. Yes, you all saw Joseph, Little Joe Perna, and the Perna organization go down in New Jersey in an illegal betting ring. That was a real story that happened last week. Now, first of all, we cut ties with those Pernas years ago. Second of all, that's why I work with legal daily fantasy sites. You didn't think I'd do it, but I'm doing it. Today's sponsor is Prize Picks. Make sure you use my code TGS when you sign up after downloading the app. We hit our first bonus this month, so thank you guys. 244 signups so far in November, so we need 156 more to get that next bonus. Prize Picks gave me my first very own lineup on their app, and I let us all down. I apologize. But 12,300 of you are following me on the app. Miss Mackin, I trailed your picks, and we almost kind of won. If you want to play, just use my code TGS when you download the app. And just know, little Joe can't come after you if you're using Prize Picks. Legally, regulated. Great app. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Our mission is 830,000 subs by the end of November, and we gotta pick it up. We gotta pick it up. Did this help convince you? Yeah, okay. The New York Jets scored first on Thursday Night Football. Oh yeah, we gotta go back to Thursday night. A 14-play, 72-yard opening drive that took 8 minutes off the clock and was capped with the Justin Fields rushing touchdown. The Jets look like a real offense. Cool shit. The Patriots answered by taking the remaining 7 minutes off the clock on their opening drive, giving us one of the fastest first quarters I've seen. Cool shit. Travion Henderson got a great push into the end zone for his first to 3 touchdowns with my winning assist. An entire offensive line that literally has your back. That is cool shit. That was the last time the Jets really had a chance. One drive later, Red Zone Henderson was unleashed as he squirted in for his second score. Later, Trey touchdown was wide open in the back of the end zone. What's another way to say wide open in the end zone?
Booty wide open!
There it is. 5 touchdowns in 5 days for Henderson. Cool shit. When Mike Vrabel said he was gonna feed Henderson a big load this week, he wasn't making an oral sex joke like so many of you perverts suggested.
Booty wide open! Now let me see that booty work.
The Patriots are 9-2, and their only flaw is their schedule has been light. Drake May have only had 1 passing touchdown, but he looked really good again. Amazon debuted a new graphic, the Pocket Health graphic, and that's actually cool shit. May is great in the pocket. He's also great when he improvises, and Stephon Diggs had 9 grabs for 105 yards in this game. Cool shit. Losing Kyle Williams, the only human who can't catch a fucking Drake May pass. Careful, Kyle. You're about to get traded to the Jets. You'll fit right in with A.D. Mitchell, who had approximately 3 drops in his debut with the New York Jets. Losing stats, the Jets have just 1 takeaway through 10 games now, which is the lowest in NFL history. To make matters worse, Justin Fields lost a fumble. He's got 48 of those since 2021 and has officially been benched for Tyrod Taylor. And somewhere, old Patty Mahomes was throwing 2 picks on the same drive and getting absolutely rocked.
Are we sure the Chiefs lose that game in Denver with Drake May? Food for sweaty thought.
Commanders Dolphins. Well, shit got real in Madrid. That is real cool shit. Fuck, I already did that. The Dolphins started the game with 4 first downs on their first 4 plays. And then they ended it with a delay of game penalty on 4th and short. Losing deja vu, eh? Crap you not, the Commanders followed that up with a very long and impressive drive where then they false started on, wait for it, 4th and 2, just to also settle for a field goal. And that's when I decided I no longer cared about this game. Winners, the refs, calling penalties in the native tongue for the international games. For some reason, I'm not filled with hate when I hear the Zebras doing that.
Falta personal, la ofensiva.
Deebo Samuel played pretty well, producing 74 yards and a touchdown, but I'm giving the winning running back award to Devin Achane, who helped the Dolphins survive this game in overtime. Achane, 45 receiving yards, 120 rushing yards, and I'm not sure if there was a running back this week who helped their team win more than Achane. The oddity is Miami might have the worst short yardage offense on earth, stuffed on the goal line. They were denied on 4th and short multiple times, including a golden opportunity after a muffed punt. Losing kick with the game tied, Washington misses the game winner. Tressway holds for Matt Gay. The Gay way makes you play longer. Marcus Mariota, who played a solid game, fired a bad interception in overtime, and the Dolphins stole a win. Texans, Titans, my losing game of the week. The Battle of the Bastards commenced in Tennessee. Davis Mills was sacked 4 times, which was one more than Cam Ward took in this game. I think Kyler Murray is the only other quarterback to take more sacks in the same game as Cam Ward this season. Unfortunately, things won't get easier for the 1-9 Titans as Calvin Ridley broke his fibula in this game. I wanted to give Nico Collins the winning receiver award this week. After the Titans tied it up with a Van Jefferson down by the river touchdown grab, Nico put the exclamation point on a nice day with his toe tap on 3rd and 16 with 44 seconds left in the game. That kept their game-winning drive alive, and quite honestly might be the most important catch for the Texans all season, as that victory keeps their playoff hopes alive. They're ahead of Kansas City in the playoff race right now.
This was one of the worst throws, I was going to say, of Patrick Mahomes' career that I've seen.
Bears, Vikings, the Bears got another 4th quarter comeback win. Minnesota took a 1-point lead with 50 seconds left in this game, which came after 9 fired a touchdown to Jordan Addison. I'm going to start calling the Bears the Cocaine Bears because they're never dead, and like a cocaine-addicted bear, they self-destruct before wreaking havoc on everyone around them. For the win. Devin Duvernay is a big reason the Bears are getting my winning special teams award. Duvernay goes untouched all the way to the Vikings 40. After this season, teams are going to start to value returners much more. The Bears had 3 timeouts. They were able to run the ball and set up Cairo, who nails it right down the middle for the game-ender Santos.
Cairo Santos!
And somewhere, old Patty Mahomes was throwing 2 picks on the same drive and getting absolutely rocked. Winning celebration, Cairo doing a weird amalgamation of the gritty and the skull clap in the locker room. J.J. McCarthy struggled again, just $150 and 2 picks. Justin Jefferson appears to be in a permanent state of pissed offedness, but I'm going to give Dallas Turner some flowers for Minnesota. After a rough start to the year and having a sack called back last week, Turner recorded 2 tackles for a loss, a sack, and a pass deflection. My winning interceptors, though, that's going to the NFL interception leader, Kevin Byard, who hauled in his 5th pick of the year. The Bears actually have 3 of the top 4 interceptors this season. McCarthy's 2nd pick was to Nashawn Wright, who made a ridiculous grab in the end zone. He looked like a Hall of Fame receiver going up for that one. As impressive as that was, DJ Moore stole the show with my winning freaking catch. And like a great hunter, DJ Moore uses every part of the body to get it done.
Kind of squirts through the 0 hole.
Chargers, Jags, my losing team, the Chargers. The Jaguars put a complete and thorough demonstration of belt to ass. Hey, in fact, maybe we just stumbled upon a new award, the reddest ass, for the team who got the belt.
You want to know what gives me the red ass?
The Jags scored 35 and got just 1 passing touchdown and 135 from the flowing locks of Trevor Lawrence. Justin Herbert's entire body was tenderized, and he finished the day with a pick and 81 passing yards. That is a career low for Herbert. Jacksonville is undefeated against the AFC West with the Broncos remaining on their schedule. Shit, Josh Hines-Allen becomes the Jags' all-time sack leader with this Herbert sack, and I'm a little worried Justin Herbert will not survive this season at the rate he's being assaulted. The Jaguars' defense was so smothering in this game, the Chargers only ran 45 offensive plays and had less than 100 yards passing and less than 50 yards rushing. My winning 2-headed monster is running backs Bashal Tootin and Travis Etienne, who combined for 146 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns. They were a big reason Trevor Lawrence didn't have to throw tempo a lot, and the Jags ran up the time of possession with 37 minutes of ball control. Lawrence rushed for a TD as well, giving the Jags 4 ground scores on the day.
I mean, that's as big of a hole as you're going to find. Booty wide open, and then he just keeps coming.
Shout out to former Bronco, one we all love here in Denver, Tim Patrick, with the lone receiving touchdown in the game. Oh, and somewhere, Patty Mahomes was throwing 2 picks on the same drive and getting walloped. My winning QB, holy fuck, we had Jacoby Brissett with 452 passing yards. Josh Allen had 6 total touchdowns, but the winning QB is Bryce Young, who got dinged up during the game and still managed to get a win in overtime with his arm. I never thought I'd say these words. Bryce Young threw for 448 passing yards, a Panthers franchise record, and 3 TDs to go with it. 448 passing yards. 350 one day for Bryce Young? Sure. 375 maybe. 400 no. Over 400, go fuck your mother. Now Young had gone 7 straight games with less than 200 passing yards this year. He had just 2 300-yard games his entire career, and a massive reason for his success against the Falcons was our winning receiver, Tedoroa McMillan. It was a great day for the McMillans, my man Jaquan and Tedoroa, who caught 8 passes for 130 yards and 2 TDs. He hasn't had a 100-yard day since week 2 and showed in this game exactly why the Panthers drafted him 8th overall, which means the bedshitters are the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta was up 21-7 in this game. They lost their Penix to a season-ending knee injury late in the 3rd and had to rely on the world's most expensive backup QB. No offense to Deshaun Watson, who is the world's most expensive alleged sex offender that you keep on your roster for some reason. But Atlanta found a way to lose despite getting 104 rushing yards out of Bijan Robinson, 3 rushing touchdowns combined between Bijan and Tyler Algier, and 117 receiving yards from Drake London. And in overtime, Big Coles goes 3 and out, which set up Tommy. I make the great people of Georgia tremble with my winning yak as Tommy caught a 5-yard pass and turned it into the second longest reception on Sunday at 54 yards and the win. And somewhere, Patrick Mahomes was throwing 2 picks on the same drive and getting the Jameis Winston Award, the anti-game manager. Yeah, it's going to Jameis Winston. Of Jameis' 10 incompletions, 4 were dropped interceptions. 1 was picked in the end zone. Could Russell Wilson have done all of that? Probably, but it's so much more fun to see Winston out there, isn't it? Jameis also had a 10-yard quarterback sneak, and unlike Josh Allen, he actually held on to the ball at the end of the play. You can see why Mike Kafka wanted to go with Jameis as his starting QB when these are the kinds of box scores he was putting up at Northwestern. And it was Jameis's final throw that ended the Giants' chances. That pick, oddly, wasn't really his fault.
It looks like he's about to run a corner route, and then he just stops on this route.
The reason this game was close, though, is because the Packers were nearly foiled by their own hands. Losing hands, the Packers. That applies to their offense and their defense. They had 5 dropped passes in the first half alone. Romeo, oh, where art thou? Romeo had 2 really bad drops in this game. If you count the 4 dropped picks by the Packers, they had 11 total and still won the game. Drops were a 2024 problem for Green Bay. Kicks are officially a 2024 and 2025 problem. Lucas Haversek got the start over Brandon McManus, but missed another PAT because of laces out Dan Whelan, who may have gaffed the hold there. Jordan Love exited this game for a bit with a shoulder injury, and in came my winning backup Malik Willis, who made 3 plays while filling in. He rushed for a first down, completed both of his passes, including 1 for a touchdown. That's exactly what great backups do. My winning savior, Packers receiver, Savion Williams, who caught his only target in the 4th quarter and made the catch of the game. Until Christian Watson made the catchier catch of the game in the end zone. Fully contested, and Watson comes down with it. A game defined by drops was won on 2 tremendous catches, including the defense, who finally caught their first fucking pass. It was Evan Williams with a clutch pick in the end zone. My losing QB? The ghosts have returned, and Sam Darnold is seeing all of them. Slinging Sammy D fired 4 interceptions to the Rams defense, who can catch. 3 of those picks were his fault, and maybe the craziest thing is Seattle only lost by 2 points. Including the postseason, Sam Darnold has a record of 22-7 since the start of 2024, and 3 of those losses came against the Rams. Even in a 4-pick game, though, JSN broke 100 yards and made one of the easiest looking one-handed grabs you'll ever see. JSN also became the first player in NFL history to have 75 or more receiving yards in 10 straight games. Winning stat line receiver Devontae Adams, who finished the day with 1 reception for 1 yard and 1 touchdown. I mean, safety Cameron Kinchins had more receptions in this game than Devontae Adams. Adams caught 7 touchdowns in the last 40 games, okay? Longest of those is a 4-yarder, and his solo grab in this one was also his 1,000th career reception. Matthew Stafford now over 500 for the first time ever in his career, and this ageless wonder has thrown 22 straight touchdowns without a pick. And somewhere, Patrick Mahomes was throwing 2 picks on the same drive and getting...
Give it to me. Give it to me. There you go. Thank you.
The Bills and Bucks have earned the Arthur Smith Award for the most stimulating game of the week. 'Twas no easy task to stimulate anyone for 3.5 hours, but these teams did it. And I'm not surprised that Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen succeeded in doing so. Tampa may have lost, but I'll hit Baker with my winning juke as a constellation prize. Yes, I said constellation, as this play will live in the stars forever. This is the kind of game you just want to show the highlights playing as a montage over some manic music. The Bills didn't have Dalton Kincaid. The Buccaneers still haven't thrown a touchdown to a tight end. Bucky Irving, Chris Godwin, they're still hurt. Keon Coleman was benched for missing a team meeting. All those key offensive players out suggested a defensive battle. Wrong! We were all wrong. Once Josh Allen shook the basketball chest passing shit out of his brain, we had 3 straight quarters of chaos. I mean, a shootout that would have had Doc Holliday choosing huckleberries over 6-shooters. 9 lead changes in this stimulator. McCole Hardman giveth and McCole Hardman fucking taketh. Tyrell Shavers made his presence known with a 44-yard touchdown grab. God help me if Tyrell Shavers ever scores a touchdown like that at Gillette Stadium. Sean Tucker responded with the 43-yard TD of his own, smoking the entire Bills defense. Then Ty Johnson hit a 6th gear on a 52-yard touchdown run. So we had a 44, 43, 52-yard touchdown in the first half alone. Buffalo closed it out, though, as Josh Allen became the first QB since Josh Allen to throw 3 touchdown passes and rush for 3 touchdowns in the same game. The only QB as good as Josh Allen is Josh Allen, and by Josh Allen, I mean Drake May. God, I can't wait for that rematch. The Dak Prescott Award going to the guy who no matter what he does, his team loses. Well, a couple weeks ago, I talked about Myles Garrett getting sacks and bunches for a losing team, which he did again with 4 more against the Ravens. Instead, though, I'm giving it to Sean Tucker, who said on Twitter that he was pleased. With his performance against Buffalo. Look, Sean, you can't just make a 4 stand for 2 different letters. That's not how that works, Sean. Tucker, though, had a LaDainian Tomlinson 2006 type performance out of nowhere, putting up 106 yards on 5.6 yards per carry and 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground and 1 through the air. Unfortunately, he just so happened to be playing in a game where the opposing quarterback had 3 touchdowns twice. You can't be pleased in a loss, but Sean was great, and I can't wait to see his face when he finds out he also won the Dak Prescott Award this week. I'm sure he'll be for real. The Tua Award?
Tua Tagovailoa.
Going to the guy who almost got it right, Jacoby Brissett, who set an NFL record for most completions in the game with 47. Look at all those green dots. Just look at them.
Would you look at this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's going to be an incredible trivia question for someone in a few years. Back in 1994, Drew Bledsoe attempted 70 passes in an overtime win against the Vikings, and he only completed 45 of those passes. Goff also had 45 completions in 2019. That was a loss where he had 68 attempts. Brissett only threw 57 passes, and he averaged just under 8 yards per attempt, with the main beneficiaries being Michael Wilson and Trey McBride, who had 25 receptions and exactly 300 yards combined. They were my winning duo in a losing effort. Brissett, though, did this without his top receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr., but unfortunately, he did throw 2 interceptions, which contributed to the 19-point loss. That and this team only rushed for 36 yards. Probably the most impressive part of Brissett's stat line is he dropped back 57 times and was never sacked. Never! That feels impossible. Losing return, Sky Moore, who went 99 yards and got stopped at the 1. Christian McCaffrey came in for the easy touchdown, which is exactly like being the most popular kid in class and then making the least popular kid do all the work on the group project and then gleefully handing in the assignment to the teacher and taking all the credit. My winning return, Brocketh Purdy, who came in and started the day with an absolute FDR to George Kittle. Followed that up with a layup to Christian McCaffrey and another fairly easy completion to George Kittle in the back of the end zone. Purdy had the highest passer rating Sunday at 133.5, completed 82.6% of his passes. It was as if his return in the West stole all of Sam Darnold's powers. 5 combined touchdowns for Kittle and McCaffrey, making them the winning duo in a winning effort, and I'm just happy Purdy played well in his return so we could end the dumb conversations about McCorkle being better than him. Somewhere Patrick Mahomes was sucking, and sucking.
And that's 2 technically interceptions on that drive, but it was bound to happen either way, it looks like, Jim.
My winning game manager, well, that's got to be Jalen Hurts, who had no touchdowns and just 135 passing yards. There are a few teams in the NFL this season that don't mind getting down in the slop and slopping it up for the ugliest, dirtiest slop win you've ever seen. I'm talking about my Broncos, but the NFC's answer to Denver are the 2025 Eagles, who have now won 2 straight games, scoring 10 points and 16 points respectively. Jalen Hurts averaged under 5 yards per attempt. Saquon only had 3 yards per carry, and still they beat the high-powered Lions because they only gave up 9 points and didn't turn the ball over. Hurts just wins games, and he wins games against good teams. He's now played 46 games in his career against winning teams and is 31-15. That's the highest winning percentage against winning teams by any quarterback since 1950, which is fitting because the Eagles are playing football like it is 1950. Of course, they were able to pull it off because of their winning defense. If Vic Fangio could have won all of his games where his team scored 16 points, he might have been the best coach in Broncos history. Jordan Davis had 3 of the Eagles' 5 batted passes, and after the game he said the Eagles defense saw something in Jared Goff's arm angle, which basically allowed them to treat the line of scrimmage like a volleyball net. Jalen Carter had the other 2. The Lions went for it 5 times on 4th down. They didn't get a single one of them, and Jared Goff, who once went 18 for 18 in a game and entered this game completing 70% of his passes, had the lowest completion percentage of his career at just 38. Sure, the Eagles got lucky with a phantom PI call at the very end, but Goff went 2 of 18 on his final 20 throws. Did a white corner get an interception this week? Yes, praise be. Oh my God, Cooper DeJean did it in prime time. That almost makes up for Riley Moss's 3 defensive penalties. And the revenge dagger this week goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who a month ago lost a shootout to the Bengals on Thursday Night Football. Remember? Pittsburgh lost that game 33-31, and this time they held Joey Flacco to under 200 yards on 40 attempts in a 22-point victory. The Steelers even lost 2 of their best old guys. Jalen Ramsey was ejected for a punch he threw after getting spat on by Jamar Chase, and Aaron Rodgers unfortunately broke his wrist. When asked why Jamar Chase spat at Jalen Ramsey, Chase replied, so everyone can know what it feels like to be a Bengal. Mason Rudolph came in cold and put up a 118 passer rating and a TD, but the biggest play came from the newest Steeler, Kyle Duggar, who had a pick six and put to rest any illusions about the Bengals offense being just fine without Joe Burrow. The Bengals were 3-4 after that Thursday night win over Pittsburgh, and now they trail the Steelers by 3 games in the AFC North. But the most stimulating single play goes to Darnell Washington, who got stiff and sent 49 back to 3rd grade and plows number 20 out of frame at the end of this big game. What a run, Darnell. What a run. And the Cam Ward We Ass Award going to the team that was the most we ass this week, the Browns.
We ass.
Cleveland's rookie quarterbacks combined for 11 completions, 81 net passing yards, and a pick. They squandered a 10-point lead after a pick six. Talk about an organization failing its team and its quarterback situation. Fortunately, Josina Anderson was putting in overtime, reminding everyone that Shedeur Sanders didn't have any reps with the first team since training camp, which of course is also the case for every backup quarterback in the league, right? Right? But the moment that they traded away Joe Flacco, I think we can safely say Cleveland has done very little to prepare Shedeur for a situation like this, which is why he looked like a deer in the headlights and completed 4 passes and tossed a pick. Dylan Gabriel has looked okay, and definitely just as an okay quarterback has looked better than Shedeur Sanders in a small sample size. And I've been rooting for Shedeur, but I think the NFL is going to eat him alive, and the Browns are going to, well, they're going to eat him after he's dead. But hey, at least Myles Garrett is the first player with 12+ sacks in 6 consecutive seasons. Wasted trick play, the Ravens, who needed to execute this juicy fake tush push just to beat the Browns. The Michael Penis Jr. Award.
Penis, big fucking erect penis, Mom!
Going to the player who rose to the occasion, Bo Nix. Mr. Nix led a game-tying drive and a game-winning drive to vanquish the Chiefs. After the Chiefs game, Chris Jones said Bo Nix called out their defensive play on that late 3rd and 15.
Because they called it out. I heard them calling it out. They actually switched the line. If you watch the film, you can see Bo Nix kind of switched the line. So they knew it. We got to do a better job at disguising.
I did a full breakdown of this game, of course, already here on That's Good Sports, but Bo had been crucified because of his performance in the Broncos' last 2 victories. The pressure was on. Plus, this was a massive divisional matchup for the Broncos, and Bo definitely rose to the occasion. He does that a lot and has earned a winning stat. Bo Nix has more 4th quarter comebacks than any player in his first 2 seasons in NFL history. Oh, and somewhere, Patty Mahomes was throwing 2 picks on the same drive and getting walloped. And on Monday Night Football, we learned if you got a problem, blame Gino. My wife's mad at me.
I keep saying this, man. If something don't look right out there, blame it on me.
My 5-year-old won't stop saying butt crack.
Blame it on me.
My mortgage is late.
Blame it on me.
Oh my God, it worked. I'm still here in my house. Thank you, Gino. Max Crosby started the Raiders off right with a huge strip sack. And the Raiders, they settled for a field goal. And that was the last impressive thing they did all night. Losing coaches Pete Carroll and offensive coordinator Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly cannot call plays at the NFL level, and Pete Carroll drafted running back Ashton Jeanty 8th overall just to watch his play caller dial up 3 designed runs in the first half. Ashton Jeanty finished the night with 6 carries, 7 yards, and a safety. Jeanty also just hasn't been good, but Jesus fuck, man, asking Geno Smith to throw it 40+ times a game, that's just dumb football.
Blame it on me.
I actually won't even blame Geno for this. I'm gonna blame Pete and Chip. The worst pairing of a Pete and Chip since Mad Men.
It's a chip and dip. You have your friends over, you put chips on the sides and dip in the middle.
That's a damn good reference. The Cowboys handled business, and I respect the hell out of the way the Cowboys played to honor their teammate Marshawn Kneeland, who tragically passed away 12 days ago. Dak Prescott was perfect, 268 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Pickens, Lamb, Ferguson, they all caught touchdowns. Ryan Flournoy caught his 2nd touchdown in 2 weeks. George Pickens was flat out unguardable in the passing game, shredding the Raiders for $144. But I'm giving newly acquired Quinnen Williams my winning defender this week. I'm not going to overhype the Dallas Cowboys defense yet, okay? But Williams in his Dallas debut had 1.5 sacks. He generated 7 pressures, and that defensive line as a whole gave up just 27 rushing yards and sacked Geno Smith 4 times. Dallas plays the Eagles next, so we will see where they really are next week. And maybe next week, Demarion Overshown will be able to keep his pants on.
To the sidelines, took his pants off. Overshown put his pants back on, and he seems to be good to go now.
You got anything to say, quite frankly, fuck you.
Blame it on me.
Same price as a chip and dip.
Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please, you got to subscribe here on YouTube. If you don't subscribe, my entire existence becomes meaningless.